Hello, welcome to UToledo Mindful Monday. I'm Professor Jay, and I shall be your host. You know, one of the great things I get to do at this university is teach a class that I actually designed called Mindful Creativity. And in that class, we talk together and we experience together the relationship and intersectionality of mindfulness, being present, and creativity, the creative process. Now, it turns out that creativity is not limited to just fine artists and musicians and people like that, but it's actually something that applies throughout life. Businesses, for example, will often be in need of creative decisions and solutions to problems they didn't see coming, or even ones they knew were on the way. Families, a situation comes up and you have to figure out a move to make. What are we going to do here? So creativity, dinner. Well, here's the leftovers, what are we going to do with it? Creativity applies all over the place in life. There are two distinctions that I'd like to bring out about creativity. One we'll do now and one we'll do next week. And that is this: creativity is not just one thing. You can kind of think of it this way. There's a kind of creativity that's what we call divergent thinking. Divergent means, things diverge, right? They go away from each other. And it's a particular kind of skill set to be able to look at a problem or a situation and think of multiple possible answers. Look, if there's only one thing that you can do, you have no choice. If you've got two things you can do, you have a dilemma. Am I going to do this or am I going to do that? Oh no, oh no. And you go back and forth and loop all over the place and cause stress. When you have at least three, now you actually have a choice that you can make. So in any decision that you're making, you want to have at least three options that you can find, ideally more. So here's what you do. Try this. Here's an exercise from the class. It's a great exercise. One time I was in the hospital because I had my wisdom teeth out. I was 26, and there was a weird thing that happened. I had to go, and oh my goodness, and they took care of it. It was fine, but I was stuck in the hospital for a couple of days. And I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, okay, how many ways can I use a hay bale? Like a bale of hay, right? We lived on a horse farm at the time, so that was a part of my life. A bale of hay. What else could I do with a bale of hay? And I sat there in a journal and I filled the entire journal with uses for a hay bale, like cheap date, or furniture, or all kinds of different stuff, And it was just like an exercise I came up with spontaneously to kind of do something, and it was fun. It was hilarious. There was all kinds of cartoons and things I put in the book, and I shared it with the nurses, and it ended up being an interesting thing. What I didn't know at the time that I now know is that I was doing divergent thinking. And it's a skill that you can develop and you can practice and you can get really good at. Some people naturally see lots of options. Some people have to work at it. So try this. Take something like, a hay bale. Take the classic example, I guess it is now, and just play with it. Can you come up with 25 different ways to use a hay bale? Try it. Expand the mind, build the muscle of being able to see lots of options. If you've got a more real-world situation that needs help, like what are we going to do with our vacation, or how am I going to get through this class, sit down and try to think of as many ways as possible. Critical thing, don't judge them. What we do a lot is as soon as we come up with an idea, we think, oh, that would never work, and you shut it down, and that punishes you for having a creative idea. So free space. Think about as many possible things as you possibly can, and just make space for them all. Practice and develop divergent thinking, and we'll take the next step next time.